Welcome to another video.
Do you know what all these things are?
Walkman?
Yeah, they're Walkman. Technically they're personal stereos, but we can call them Walkman because we're in the South.
Are you from the South?
I'm not only from it, I'm in it.
Everything up here on the top level is kind of like my actively used personal stereos over the past 20 years, from the AM radio all the way over to the iRiver. Everything on the bottom, except for the iPod, I guess was mine, but a lot of those things are just things that people gave me, relatives, or things to fix. So we're going to go through these one by one and just kind of look at some interesting things, maybe not go through everything.
Did you do all of them?
I used them all, but we're not going to go over all of them, but I'll tell you which one is the best and why, I think, at the end. This is my first thing when I was really little, probably not much older than you. My parents gave me this Kmart AM radio.
Got a speaker in the back.
Dr. Charles Stanley's personal letter to you. Each
That's
month
it.
you'll enjoy biblical insight.
What's that?
In the 50s and 60s, you talk about a transistor radio.
This one is from the 50s.
Yeah. This is one of my high school.
In the Cold World.
This is a knockoff. I actually had another one of these that broke. This actually is nicer. It comes with a leather case.
Hey, what was the
And-
first one? Was the first one of these made in the 1940s?
Well, I mean, no. So in the 1940s, they probably had tubes, but then they could make transistor. You notice this one actually says 6 transistor. This is fancy, as you can tell. Here, let's put a battery in it. I mean, you could count the transistors. That has a little battery corrosion. This actually, usually these things usually came. That one had a headphone jack. Came with a little white headphone. It was mono. I mean, for listening to a ball game or something like that, it's probably fine.
1950s
but-
Cold War ball game.
Well, no, I mean, this was made in Japan. For listening to some music, it wouldn't be good.
So after World War II, we just got this from Japan.
No, we bought this in a store. See, it's not very, these things for any.
Completion at a fumble. Yes. At a reception.
Yeah, so when they talk about transistor radios,
Pretty clear. That'll be Pittsburgh football.
How do you turn it off?
all these just have a simple volume off control. You turn it all the way up or you turn it all the way down and it clicks off.
Monitor around the 18-yard line.
Again, we don't want to blow out the speakers.
Good play by Tavon Young.
Sound quality, when I was little, I immediately heard AM and knew I didn't really want to hear that kind of sound quality. So we move on to FM. So this one was my first tape player. This is a GE. First, you see these holes down here? I actually mounted an LCD clock on here. This thing was gigantic. But as far as the mechanism, it's got pretty solid motors. It runs on 4 AA batteries, 6 volts. This is my first Walkman, but again, the sound quality was not that great. We'll hook it up and see if it still works. Got some computer speakers hooked up. Hey, it works. It's the AM FM stereo. Let's try the tape deck, see if it still works. Motor still seems to turn. Actually works pretty good. Unfortunately, you can only fast forward. You can't rewind. So yeah, this is an FM radio only. If you remember this one from earlier, this one was an AM radio only. This one's FM only. It's a cheap radio, Kmart type brand radio that your granddaddy used to use for jogging. But what's interesting is, first of all, it takes 3 batteries, which was an odd number, and then also there's no power on switch. How do you think you turn this thing on? Well, it's just got FM or FM stereo. You got tuning and volume. That's it. Well, to turn it on, you plug the headphone jack in. That's what turns it on, which I thought was kind of weird. Turn it off, you unplug the headphone jack. So again, if you compare these two, you'd probably rather, if you just cared about listening to the radio, you'd probably rather jog with this little thing or that. You tune it with this.
Where's the bridge?
That one was radio only. This is probably the next one I got. This is tape only. This is a Panasonic auto reverse cassette player. It's cassette player only, but it does have auto reverse. It has a nice solid mechanism to the auto reverse, unlike the other things which only have fast forward or rewind only. This one I actually got at something called Most, the merchandise outlet store, which was like a Walmart return type deal. And I think this thing actually only cost like $10. They had stacks and stacks of these things, and you could actually just plug headphones in and get those included. The cassette mechanism won't flop open. It's got a latch for it. You put the tape in, and it plays in both directions. It also, I mean, it's a very basic tape player. Again, it doesn't have any sort of equalization, just volume control. Wow, the speed's off on that one. Now this is my first serious Walkman from 1991, the Sony WMF-2085. I did a lot of lawn mowing with this thing, you know, and it came with those little earbud headphones, which are kind of worn out. But
one time I tried to mow with it, and your sweat got on my ears.
Oh, sorry about that. It's a really good Walkman. It has some good solid controls, and I really like it. Very well laid out. It is worn out. One of the little LCD digits is out. The reason I stopped using it is occasionally I'd have this thing where I'd kind of adjust the heads. They get a little off track. Other than that, an occasional auto reverse would just happen. Other than that, it'd be fine. You know, you probably can't hear it here, but you know, just if I could adjust the heads on this thing and make the mechanism a little bit more solid, it would be fine. But anyway, that finally got annoying, and so I replaced it with this, the Aiwa TX-656, which was kind of the last tape-based Walkman for me.
Oh, wow.
Aiwa, yeah. But
that sounds weird.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. But I really, the Sony was superior. Let's just take a look at this, for example. If we look at the radio on this, you turn it on, you got your presets, it works great. Anyway, you switch the band there. The Aiwa just is a lot cheaper. It's cheaper, you know, the sound quality may have been more consistent.
How much were Walkman?
These were like probably in the $60 to $70 range. This one, the on-off switch for the radio is also the band switch, and so you always have to go through AM. Every time you turn it on or off, you have to cycle through all the radio bands if you want to listen to FM. You can't even just go to the preset. Also, the buttons are really like just plasticky feeling, not very good. Their layout's not good. It was really maybe a little bit of a buyer's remorse moment for me buying that, and I never used it as much as the Sony. The Sony just turned out better. All right, so when I got married, I got another Aiwa in the family, this one with the super bass button. This is your mom's Aiwa Walkman, and it is similar to mine. Mine has a digital tuner and this digital signal processing. Hers has an analog tuner and no auto reverse and just the super bass. These are two Sanyos. The one on the left was my mom's. This one is my little brother's. It's got an equalizer and some bass boost. And
does he still use it?
No, and it's got auto reverse, whereas the other one just has the old cheap mechanism with just fast forward and rewind. So again, neither one of the backs of the battery cases are there.
Don't pause it.
The stealth tuner.
Where's our Walkman in here?
It's half a Walkman. It's not a whole Walkman. So what better way to just walk through school and they think you've got floppy disks, but in reality, you've got half a Walkman. So I was in the bleachers and some kid dropped his Walkman and he said, "Hey, I don't need this top part. I'll just rip it off." But I saw that and I was like, "Wait a second, don't throw that away. That contains the tuner." So I took the tuner out. Sony likes to put electronics in the lid. So like, see this one, this has got mega bass, so it's got the equalizer. And there's a little ribbon cable. You see that little ribbon cable in there? That's what holds it on. And then this one, the guy just ripped it off. Now most of like this thing even if you were to lose the lid, there's nothing in the lid. But the Sonys actually have stuff in the lid. So I took this and I made this into a tuner. And then in our computer classes...
What a waste for that kid.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if the tape deck worked.
Oh, wait, kid, do not listen to this video.
Well, it's... anyway. So, basically, here, let's see if it still works. This has been, many years, more than 20. But, yeah, our computer class, the teacher had computers, and he had a big screen projection TV, so I could hook this in the audio inputs on the TV, and we could listen to rock music during class, which you probably don't do these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, so all I had to do was kind of take this and hook it up. Well, we only need 2 batteries. Actually, eventually, I don't know why I hooked a power brick up to it, but we'll just use batteries. Here, you just do this. Let's see, you gotta pay attention. I think this battery thing came from...
Did you put that in there?
Yeah, I even used tape. See, the tape's all rotted.
Ew.
All right, look. Hey, the light came on. Look. See, it may still work. Still on the station. Let's hook it up to the... a good one.
I like this one.
Yeah, it doesn't have a speaker or headphones. It just has the tuner. It's like a component. It's like a stereo
It's
component.
like your own radio that you made.
Yeah. Or just kind of. It was hard to do that because I didn't have. I just kind of just had to figure out what the pinout was. No schematics, no internet. Whoa. Of course, we hook it up to these computer speakers now.
Those are nice speakers.
Yeah. Now this is interesting. This is a Sony FM. Those aren't the original pads. This is a FM radio headphone. This was your granddaddy's. It is an FM radio, and the relatively new AAA batteries went in there, and it had these proprietary connectors which could be used for line input or line output. So you could use it as a headphones, or you could use it actually to send the line out signal to a tape recorder, or which here I'm going to just bridge over to these speakers, these stereo speakers. Turn it on. It works, but as you can see, it's got a lot of tape on it. What happened is your granddaddy used this while jogging, and the wires it had some built-in switches to switch it on. All that flexing on the wires just shorted it all out, and I ended up, when he gave it to me, I put all new wires on it and just tried to fix it, but it was just really prone to shorting out, and it probably would look kind of ridiculous on your head because if you look at the size of these headphones compared to the size of a regular headphone, look, there's kind of the typical headphones of the 80s. Nowadays we have earbuds, but these would really stick out in your head and look ridiculous. Finally, now we enter the digital era. We've got the iRiver H10 20 gigabyte on the left, which I think I bought about 2005, and the iPod Touch on the right. Let me take this case off.
You said that iPod was you had to replace the screen.
Yeah, I've actually replaced the screen on that. That's the drawback to those iPods is they're easy to drop. This thing has this cool little scroll touch sensitive thing, and it actually, believe it or not, has a spinning hard drive in it. So it's got like a 5400 RPM laptop drive. 20 gigabyte is a lot. This has flash memory. The iPod does, and I think this is probably like an 8 gig or 16 gig iPod. But I probably wouldn't take that out lawn mowing. But this iRiver, believe it or not, I took it out mowing quite a bit, and it survived the spinning hard drive and all just fine. More than 10 years later. Now, I did have some music loaded on this iPod at some point, but I'm kind of not getting a good Wi-Fi signal here, and I clicked on it, nothing's happening, and maybe I don't know my iTunes password, or they've loaded new software or whatever, so I'm just clicking buttons and nothing's happening. That's the drawback to this thing. I don't ever remember it being this slow when I actually used it, so...
Dad, you forget stuff easily.
Yeah, there it goes. It finally came up, but, you know, it's not playing music very quickly. So, to be honest, my favorite option today is this. I use this summer while mowing lawns. I can just grab a tape, pop it in, and go. I don't have to plan anything. I have batteries I can pull out of a drawer. I don't have to charge anything. I don't have any software.
You do have to replace batteries.
Yeah. Now, the iRiver is a good option because it didn't require any software. You just copy your MP3s over there. And the iPods are nice, but of course you got to get iTunes going. Anyway, in the end, my favorite thing, if I was stuck on a desert island, would be the Sony.
That one?
Yeah.
That says Walkman?
Yep. So my favorite Walkman is a Walkman. How about that?
Get it? Hey, where's that rat?
Yeah.
Rat!
Why is there a rat on my stereo?
Yeah, he's gonna go to the bathroom.
On my Walkman? That's not good. Well, who's that? His friend?
No, it's his brother.
Where did you get those rats?
From IKEA.
Why is IKEA selling rats? Anyway.
See you next time for another video.